everyone, and welcome to NameHero.com. I want to welcome everyone to the first day of spring. We're certainly celebrating here at NameHero.com here in Kansas City, Missouri, the heart of the United States. We've certainly had a cold winter this year, and I just published this blog post on our blog that talks about our Super Spring sale that is now ongoing. The first thing I mentioned is a little humor here. For the first time in my 33 years of living, I've experienced frozen pipes. And if none of you listening or watching or reading have experienced frozen pipes, it's certainly nothing I wish on my worst enemy. Basically, it got so cold here in Kansas City, it felt like it was negative 25 degrees out at one point, and that is extremely cold. But it was so cold that our pipes actually froze, meaning we couldn't use water in the house, couldn't flush toilets in the house, and that was a really big pain. It's the first time I've ever experienced it, and like I said, it was quite the task to get those pipes unfrozen and to make sure they didn't burst once they did thaw out, and to bring back the small things in life or big things in life that we take for granted, such as running water in our homes. So I'm glad that that is behind us, and we are now heading into spring. While I have enjoyed time inside to work on NameHero and to develop our organization here and to bring on new team members, and of course help our customers, I am happy for the time that is now going to begin outside, the outdoor barbecues, baseball season, running outside and doing all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to spring. But with that said, we are proud to announce our latest sale. If you've followed NameHero for any length of time, you know each season we try to run a nice sale to help customers bring on their websites on board to us here at NameHero. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of run down the sale with all our products and what we're offering, so you can see, and then you can make the decision if NameHero is right for you. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to kind of highlight the two main points about why I recommend NameHero. Okay, so let's start with our basic cloud web hosting packages. You can go down here and click here to buy web hosting to see these packages, and I'm just going to highlight them really quick, and then we'll talk about the savings on them. So these are our main web hosting packages. 99% of customers that come to NameHero looking for web hosting can find a suitable package right here. So whether you're an individual, a small business, or even a medium-sized business, and you're looking for hosting for your website, for your emails, maybe your WordPress site, we say we always specialize in WordPress hosting here at NameHero because we specifically optimize for that, but you can find comfort in any one of these packages. The main difference between these packages is the amount of resources per package, the amount of CPU cores and RAM, and if I'm beginning to speak German to you, no fears, that's basically the amount of visitors that you can have to your website. So at the top of each package, we put an estimated number of monthly visitors, and so we kind of calculated this based on our experience and about how many visitors you can expect to get monthly and have a high-performing website. Now, the important thing to note about NameHero is all of our packages, all of our basic hosting, all of our reseller, all of our VPSs are built on our high-speed cloud. So what this means to you is you can start off small and then you can scale up as you grow. You don't have to buy a package and then if you decide, well, in 6 months from now I'm getting way more than 25,000 monthly visitors, then it's this process to upgrade. No, it's really easy. All you have to do is upgrade inside of our interface and immediately you'll grab these extra resources. You can always reach out to our sales team as well, and they can kind of help you make sure that you get everything in order. I know some people, they want to, when they upgrade, they want to make sure that they're upgrading to, sometimes they've purchased for a year, and they want to say, well, I'm really pleased, and I want to save the most by purchasing for 3 years. And so our sales team can help you do that if that applies to your situation. But with the resources, the other thing that differentiates these packages is the number of websites you can host with each package. Our starter allows for hosting for 1 website, our plus for 6, Turbo's unlimited, and Business is unlimited. Most of the time we see customers pick this Plus Cloud or the Turbo Cloud because even though they might only want to be hosting 1 website right now, they always want to have a little bit of leeway in case they need a extra site. Or just recently I talked to a customer that said, hey, I'm starting a blog for this club that I'm in, and I'm just doing it kind of to donate my time, so I don't want to go buy web hosting. I'm just going to add them to my account. And so that's certainly an appropriate situation. So I recommend, if you're on the fence whether or not you need hosting for more than 1 website, just go ahead and go off the Plus Cloud because it's about $2 more a month, and it gives you that flexibility along with a little bit extra RAM. So you're going to get 2 CPU cores and 2 gigabytes of RAM, so your site's going to perform a little bit higher, and especially as you grow, this will certainly help. And then if you start reaching, the 50,000 monthly visitors mark, you can go up to the Turbo Cloud. Or if you really start hammering out visitors, you can go to the business. It's also important to note, if you reach the business and you're getting 100,000 monthly visitors, we're not going to leave you high and dry. We have a full VPS line that can handle up to millions of visitors a month. Get with our sales team. They can explain to you exactly what you need if you just let them know a lot about your site. Let them know how many visitors you're expecting. The million visitors come every month or daily. They all come at once. Do you announce a big event where they all come? And our sales team can certainly get you a package that fits your needs. So that's the main things that differentiate these packages. All of our packages at NameHero, we pride ourselves in loading them with features. One of the biggest and most popular features is the free SSL certificates. If you're moving over from a more well-known web host out there that's been around, such as HostGator or Bluehost, you know that they don't offer the free SSL. So to have a secure website, you have to have an SSL certificate. And so this used to be only important for e-commerce websites that were actually selling goods or items. But now Google Chrome recently announced that they're going to show warnings on websites that don't have this. So even if you just have an individual blog, you need an SSL certificate. Google said 5 years ago that websites with SSL will actually rank higher in the search results. So for those of you that have small businesses, maybe you're a plumber or a restaurant, you want to rank high in the search results, because I can guarantee you your customers are typing your website or your business name in Google to find out more about you and find out your reviews and all that stuff. So if your competitors have that and they're showing up above you, then that doesn't work. You want to show up as high in Google as possible. So at NameHero, regardless of your website name or whatnot, we have free SSL, and it's automatic. You don't have to worry about installing anything. You don't have to go purchase anything. You don't have to do anything. It just automatically works once you get set up with us here at NameHero. With that, we have free SSD, which means we use solid state drives. For those not really familiar with computer hardware, a solid state drive is a smaller drive than the old school hard drives that you used to see in computers, and it doesn't have moving parts to it. So this allows it to be more redundant, meaning these drives don't fail hardly ever. But there is a case, but not hardly ever do they fail, meaning that you have that reliability aspect, but they're also a lot faster. These are like 20 times faster than a traditional hard drive. And if you're using like a MacBook and you've purchased it recently, most likely it has an SSD drive. So if you wonder why your computer now is so much faster than the computer you maybe used 10 years ago, that's because most computer manufacturers are using SSD drives. So that's what we use to host your website, and you will have a noticeable difference in how you access the pages of your website and how your visitors access your pages. We have free Lightspeed cache. We use the Lightspeed web server, which is up to 10 times faster than the Apache web server. HostGator, Bluehost, they still use the Apache web server, so it's just a faster technology that your website's on. And we have this caching ability, so if you're using WordPress, you can really dramatically increase your load time by using the Lightspeed cache, and that plugin is free with all of our packages. Finally, we have Cloudflare with Railgun on all of our packages. Railgun's a technology that Cloudflare uses that helps load your site from a data center closest to your visitor. So this decreases the latency of the website. So let's say you have a customer that loads up your site, and maybe or let's say that you're located in New York. Well, our servers are located in central United States. So if your customer is in New York or you're in New York, it's going to actually pull the static resources, your cascading style sheets, your JavaScript, all that stuff from a server closer than our data center. And that's the Railgun technology at Cloudflare. It also gives you a really fast load time, which Google loves for the search results. If you go to cloudflare.com and purchase this, it's $200 a month just for this technology, but it comes free at NameHero. So tremendous value in that. And then we just have some of the other basic features, unlimited email accounts, unlimited parked and subdomains, stuff like that you're probably going to need at some point or another. But that's the differences in these packages. And right now for spring, these are 40% off. And that's a great deal that you're going to get. Now, it's important to note, the longer you sign up at NameHero, the more you're going to save. So right now on your screen is our 3-year price. We reward customers at NameHero for their loyalty, and we do that by heavily discounting our prices for longer than a year. So let's say, like for example, if you wanted to get $359 a month hosting, trying to keep up with that payment monthly, and we've tested this a million times. And what we see is customers, sometimes their credit card expires or they forget about it, especially if you're not on the computer every single day. You might just forget about it, and it's hard to remember because that's such a small charge. You might not even realize that it's due until your website goes offline, and then you're like, what the heck, what I miss? And so that's why another reason why we reward for long-term customers is that instead of having to bill you every single month, we give you this tremendous discount, and once the payment's done for 3 years, you don't have to worry about another website payment for 3 years. Your website's just online and ready to go. And then when the 3 years come up, you take the invoice and pay it, and then it's done for another 3 years. So you're only having to pay for your web hosting twice in 6 years. So that's what our customers, we found they really, really enjoy that aspect. And so when you see these packages, this is calculated per month, but it's not necessarily paid monthly. So I hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions on that, feel free to comment on this video or on the blog post, and I'll give you some more specific examples. But that is our basic web hosting packages. This is absolutely excellent for those of you running WordPress. Don't go waste your money going to other really expensive managed WordPress services. We're offering the same thing those services are, but at NameHero, our investors are our customers. We don't have all these investors to please. A lot of these other companies you see, they're either publicly traded or they have investors in their company, and they have to please those investors by producing high profits, because who wants to invest into a company that's not having the highest profit? And the more investors, the higher the profit they have to have. At NameHero, since our only investors is our customers, we don't have to operate with such tremendous overhead. And that's how we're able to offer such discounted, high-speed managed WordPress hosting. But if you read my blog post I wrote, I did put in there that I still don't consider us a discount web host at NameHero. There is cheaper hosting packages out there. There just is. But what we pride ourselves on NameHero is our quality of hosting along with our customer support and service. And we'll talk about that towards the end of this video. So that's going to highlight our basic hosting packages, which many of you will find a lot of value in. Now I want to talk about, shift gears and talk about our reseller hosting. And this is actually our spring sale. I need to edit the blog post. It's always good to find a typo while doing a video. But anyways, the discount is 35% off. And if we go to reseller hosting here, you can see these. And so this is for those of you that are a web developer or you're wanting to start your own hosting business. The majority of our customers that buy reseller hosting are developers, and they're developing for local businesses. They're developing websites. And instead of making their customer go sign up for hosting somewhere else and then paying them for web design, they just pay them for everything, and then they, in return, they buy the hosting from us in bulk, and then they give their client an account. And so that way they generate some monthly revenue from that customer. So once they do the design and management of the site, they also have the hosting as an upsell or even as an added bonus. So with that said, our most popular reseller package is this Corporate Hero package. And the reason being, it comes with a free WHMCS license. And so that's noted right here. And this is actually a $15.95 a month value. So if you're going to go buy this WHMCS license from them directly, you're going to pay $15.95 a month, when instead it's free and you're going to get it for $21.42 a month with hosting. So, I mean, that's almost a no-brainer if you're using WHMCS. If you're not familiar, you can click this link and it'll take you to WHMCS's website. WHMCS is the most popular automated and billing platform for web hosts. So if you are a web developer, maybe an entrepreneur starting a hosting company, you're able to automate the hosting process for your customers, meaning that if you have a customer, they're going to buy a website design from you, they can also set up and provision their web hosting automatically, tied right into our NameHero servers. So you don't have to go set up their hosting and configure it and all that. WHMCS automates that process. It makes it extremely easy. You don't even have to know any code to do it. You don't have to know anything about servers. It's a simple step-by-step process to install the software, get it up and running on your servers, and offering it to your customers. So a great way to make an additional income. And if you follow our blog here, on the right side here is a link to my Resell Hero ebook. And this is an ebook I developed for those that are looking to get into reseller hosting. And it explains in grave detail about what resell hosting is, how to make money from it, and how to set it up. We also have a free course, if you click on courses on our blog here, called Reseller Hosting 101. And it will walk you through in videos, step by step. Here's what reseller hosting is. Here's how you make money from it. Here's how you set it up. Here's how you do. Here's what you do once you get it all set up, and here's how you promote it. So make sure you check out those resources if you are interested in reseller hosting, because we have all those resources 100% free of charge. Even if you don't buy hosting from us, those resources are at your full disposal. So make sure you use that. We have a lot of reseller success stories here at NameHero, and it's quite humbling to hear them. I mean, there was a 23-year-old kid the other day that reached out, and really not a kid at 23, but a 23-year-old gentleman that reached out to me, and he was talking about how he's growing and developing this business fresh out of college, offering his customers managed WordPress hosting, and he's doing designs, and he's doing some SEO and some social media setup. And he was just thanking me for how those resources helped him set up his business and really established him a career right out of college, along with his web development and marketing skills. So if that's something you're interested in, there's a huge opportunity there. With our spring sale, not winter, disregard the typo, you're going to save 35% off the original price. And I've got the original prices here. And this is off the first invoice. So again, just like our other hosting, the longer you sign up, the more you're going to save. Me personally, reseller hosting all boils down to ROI. You want to make the most return for your money. And so you're going to get that by signing up for 2 years. You're going to get this package at $21.42 a month, which comes with that free WHMCS license, which is $15.95 a month. So you're already going to put yourself in the position to make an extreme ROI, return on your investment. So I definitely recommend taking advantage of this sale while it's going on. You've got all these options to really, make something special happen for your business. Not only are we giving you the same technology that we spent thousands of dollars developing at NameHero, we're going to give this to you as a reseller so you can go offer this to other customers. So to me, it's just a great value. And if I was fresh out of college and looking for a way to supplement my income or even start a new career, I would jump all over reseller hosting, because it's a service that's needed in every community of every state of every country. There's just really an unlimited amount of customers out there, and it's a need that's not going away anytime soon. When your local restaurant buys hosting from you, they're not going to quit paying for hosting as long as their restaurant's around. When your local plumber buys web hosting from you, they're not going to discontinue their website as long as their business is around. So if you're really looking for a long-term, low overhead way to get started online, making money online, reseller hosting is a great way to do it. So you're going to get many features. Go through all of this, read the guides, take the course, and you can learn more about all these features and how you can use and leverage these to your advantage with your customers. Finally, and I've still said winter here again, that's embarrassing, but we're going on to our VPS hosting sale. Our VPS hosting sale have not seen this low of prices in almost a year. So you're going to save big time off the $39.95 a month. For our 2 gigabyte, you're going to get it for $27.97. For our 4 gigabyte, or $34.97 a month. So you're really going to save big on our VPSs this spring. And this is really the highlight of this spring sale, because we don't normally offer discounts this heavy on VPSs. And so this is good for those of you that are looking for a little bit extra resources. During the winter months, we have seen several large customers come into NameHero looking for high availability, high redundancy web hosting for a lot of visitors. And so our VPS hosting gets that job done. Also, those of you that are resellers that are really looking to offer your customers something special, a really powerful hosting solution, you'll find ease and comfort inside of our VPSs. So these are, for the more advanced webmaster, but then again, we're going to manage the server for you. So you don't have to know anything about servers, just to know you have that power behind it. And so these come with fully dedicated hard drives. Like, these hard drives are yours. This is your RAM. These sticks of RAM are actually inside the server, but they're on the cloud too. So everything at NameHero, you can start off with our Hero 2 gigabyte. As you start to get more customers, or as you need more resources, you can scale up all the way up to this 8 gigabyte server automatically. You don't have to migrate the data or anything. You can do this right inside of our interface. So very powerful VPS hosting solutions. With our VPSs, it's important to note that every one of them come with a cPanel license. So if you've had web hosting ever, you probably know what cPanel is. cPanel and Web Host Manager are the most popular control panels in the world for web hosting. Now, if you go to cPanel's website and buy a license, I think they start around $15 a month. They go up to maybe $25 a month. They discount based on the number of licenses that you buy. But that alone comes free with all of our VPSs. So right off the bat, you're going to be saving up to $25 just for getting that license for free. You're also going to get those free SSL certificates. So you're saving with the cPanel license. You're going to save with the SSL certificates. They're all ready for Cloudflare. We have a small setup fee for our agents to get inside of your server once provisioned and set it up. But once that setup fee is paid, Cloudflare is on your server and you can use that. The servers are fully managed. You don't have to worry about updating the operating system or keeping cPanel updated. Our techs do all of that for you. And again, you have the full dedicated resources, full root access. If you're like me and you like to SSH into your machine and do your work that way, you're going to have full access to that. We also see a lot of developers go with our VPSs because with our other web hosting and reseller hosting, you can't configure things down to the operating system. So if you're a developer and you're making an application, we have a couple of app developers out there that are really creating some amazing things, but they need to customize a lot of the operating system aspects. And so that's why they go with the VPS, because since it is essentially your server, you can customize everything on it specific for your business. So that's another reason why we sell a lot of VPSs. And again, we have not had prices this low in a year, in the last 6 months, definitely in the last year. So I highly recommend getting on that. We offer the fully managed product as well. You know, and that's something you don't see at a lot of VPS providers. You know, they offer the VPS, but that's up to you to manage it. If you don't know a lot about servers, that can be a daunting task, and trying to hire that out can be expensive. Trust me, I know. I mean, we have to pay certified Linux techs to actually help keep updated and manage this stuff. So instead, let us handle that. Let us manage the VPSs for you. So that's announcing our spring sale and all of our products. It is now live on March 20th, and it's going to continue to go live throughout spring, so you have some time to save. Definitely recommend hopping on as early as possible. But now I want to switch gears and talk a little bit about the NameHero Promise. So as I mentioned, you know, I consider every time we run a sale, I consider it special because, you know, we are coming off our price to attract new business and to give you a little bit more ease and comfort into coming and signing up with us at NameHero. But if you are a subscriber of our YouTube channel, NameHero is very big on YouTube, and me personally, I record a lot of content on here. You can go to youtube.com/c/NameHeroCom, or you can just type in NameHero inside of YouTube and it'll come up, and you can see we've got hundreds of videos to help you across the whole web hosting experience. So whether that's just reseller hosting, VPS hosting, or WordPress, you're going to find a video tutorial that's going to help you with any of our hosting products. So I do recommend clicking subscribe here if you haven't already. So as soon as we upload a new video, which almost happens daily, you're notified and then you can go check it out. If you follow this link right here, it will automatically try to subscribe you. So you click this and then you just click yes, and it'll subscribe you to our YouTube channel. But with that said, oftentimes on our YouTube channel, I always say that I don't consider NameHero a discount web host. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've said it 100 times, I'm going to say it again, we're never going to be the cheapest web host in the industry. I believe our prices are very much in line with the other web hosts out there. But then again, we're not going to be the cheapest, and we never will be the cheapest. And that goes into our infrastructure. So let's talk about that first, and then we're going to talk about our customer service at NameHero. Our high-speed infrastructure. I originally developed this out of necessity. I needed this. Back in 2014, I was wrapping up another business, a successful business that I had, but my partners and I had decided we were going to split ways and kind of go do our own thing. I always wanted to be in the web hosting industry. I'd previously owned some hosting companies in the early 2000s, and I wanted to get back in the industry. But for me, there was nowhere, especially in 2014 and past then, when I was running my other websites, there was no web host that offered high-speed cloud hosting for an affordable rate. The only way I could get what I wanted was to develop a VPS out in the cloud, such as Amazon, and configure everything myself and set it up. So the lowest cost I could find for doing all this was like $300 a month. And so that's cool and all, you know, right? If you have capital, that's, you know, expensive, but it's not that bad. But at the same time, that's a little ridiculous if you're a mom and pop shop and you're, you know, you have a local restaurant or a local shop, you know, spending $300 on web hosting is kind of a lot. So I saw the need. There was no such thing as high-speed cloud web hosting that was for the everyday person. It was sure these big companies you could get it, or in my case, you could build it out, but it was still expensive. So unlike the traditional web host out there, we offer this really premium infrastructure, starting at $3 a month and then on up from there. And so that's really what NameHero is. We're a lot different than a lot of the brand name hosts you hear of, HostGator, Bluehost, GoDaddy. I mean, you know, those companies have been around for a couple decades now, and they're well known. But while they're well known, they're still offering a discount-based product. They're still offering something that's, we saw in the late 90s, and we saw it kind of evolve through the early 2000s. But we haven't seen, true cloud hosting, SSD drives, Lightspeed web server, Maria database, guaranteed CPU and RAM, free and automatic SSL certificates, Lightspeed caching, Cloudflare with the railgun. It's like if you want all these components, you have to go, you get upsold here and there and everywhere, and you end up really paying a lot. And so that's why I developed NameHero in the first place. Is I just wanted a high-speed solution that was reliable, secure, and scalable. Meaning that once you got on a web host, you didn't have to go move web hosts once your website got popular. HostGator was known throughout the early 2000s for low-cost web hosting. But once you got popular, the thing was, well, what do I do now? I can't host at HostGator, and the HostGator would say, well, you can move to a dedicated server. Well, that's a pain in the butt. I want to be able to scale up, and so at NameHero, that's the purpose of our cloud. Is you can kind of stair step it. You start off with our discounted packages and you kind of move up as your business grows. And it never comes this time where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't have my website hosted here. I've got to move to something different. You just scale on up with our cloud. So that's kind of in a nutshell my catalyst behind starting NameHero and the infrastructure that we've developed here. And this is why we've seen so much success throughout the last 3 years of business here at NameHero. We started off offering this product, not sure, how the market or how the industry would react. And now we've seen just tremendous success. It's been truly humbling seeing the amount of customers that we get here on a daily basis now at NameHero. And it's because of this infrastructure. And, it's something that's, this trust we don't take lightly. And this infrastructure, I built it out of my own necessity. This is what I needed for my sites. When I had a good idea and wanted to start a blog, I didn't want to go spend $300 to build out a server. Instead, I wanted to be able to offer this same thing that I needed to the whole general public. So knowing our infrastructure, let's talk a little bit about our superhero customer service. Poor customer service is plaguing the web hosting industry currently, and it has. If you can go on the Web Hosting Talk forum, you can click this link here and start researching and reading about the industry as a whole. Get on Trustpilot, read reviews of some of the well-known companies out there. This is something I don't take lightly. A lot of hosting companies, they feel like, once they get the hook in you, they have you. And I use my dad frequently as an example, and I use him as an example here. Several years ago, before I started NameHero, he needed a website for his small business. He has a local storage facility. So if you want to store your items, you go pay him to rent a storage unit and you can store your stuff. So it's a completely offline business. But what he found is a lot of his customers were typing his business into Google, looking at his website for rates. And then once they actually rented a spot from him, they wanted to go to his website to pay him for that space. They didn't want to write a check and mail it in. They didn't want to have to go by the office. They wanted to get on his website at night in their jammies, and type in their credit card stuff and pay for their space. And so he spent some time at the WordPress developer, got his website live on a very well-known host out there, and to save the embarrassment of the host, I'm not going to mention them by name. But if you Google web hosting, they'll be one of the first that come up. And he did that, and it was fine for a while. Once they were there to sell him, they were there to get his site online. But over time, over the years, they discontinued their ticket desk, where he couldn't even submit a ticket. They increased their prices on him. His website started to go down, which really sucks for him because his customers, they don't just pay their space 9 to 5. Like I said, most of his customers, they pay at night, when they're in their comfortable clothes, sitting back watching some television. They say, well, wait, I need to pay my storage bill and I'm going to do it before I have to go work all day tomorrow. And so what he started to see is he was getting this downtime. His customers would reach out to him and say, listen, I'm trying to pay my bill, but I can't get to your website because it's down. So he was getting like all this stuff. And so when he tried to reach out to their support, they weren't the least bit helpful. When he could reach them, he was even having trouble giving them a call. He was having trouble in their live chat. Like I said, they got rid of their ticket desk a year ago. And so, he could not even reach a support agent. So this is something at NameHero that we try to do different. And, I even put on here, go research some well-known hosting brands on Glassdoor. Glassdoor.com is a website where employees post the reviews of the company. And if you truly want to know about a company, read what the people that work there say, because that's when you really get the truth. Customers, they might leave a biased review because they had a good or bad experience. And, when you get into spending money, it could be biased. But really, if you know what the employees are saying about the company, then then that tells you what the management is saying. So at NameHero, we don't look at it like a revenue-based generating machine. We're more here for the customer service. We feel like we owe it to the industry. And this was another catalyst behind starting NameHero. Not only was it creating a web host with this high-speed infrastructure, it was creating a web host that was helpful, because I saw people like my dad going through hell and back, trying to keep his website online, trying to get a hold of an agent that would help him. And it was nothing but frustration. And it gave him a really sour taste in his mouth about web hosting as a whole. See, at NameHero, that's where we try to change things, is we hire only level 3 competent English-speaking techs. So when you get a hold of us, we speak your language. And you can call us, you can live chat with us, you can send us a ticket. And not only that, when you send us a support request, we strive to answer everything within 15 minutes. Obviously, the phone immediately, the chat immediately. But if you send us a ticket within 15 minutes, we're going to answer you back and let you know we're working towards resolving it. If we don't resolve it within those 15 minutes, we try to resolve that issue within an hour tops. We don't want to make you wait a couple days to get your issue solved. When you have an issue that comes up, it's important to us that we make sure we find you the solution or help you come to where the solution lies. And so that's what we call the NameHero Promise, is we promise not to abandon you once you become a customer here of us at NameHero. It's in our core mission statement, it very specifically states, it's our goal to help power our customers' websites into the future and provide a pleasant experience so they can spend their time on what's most important, running their business. Guys like my dad, he's not a technical guru. He just doesn't even like technology really, but he knows he has to have a website. He knows he has to adapt with it. He knows his business has to have it to survive in 2018. But he doesn't want to spend time on his website. He doesn't want to spend time configuring the server. He wants to spend time running his business, leaving it to the NameHero, to making sure his website's online, available, and when there's a problem, we're there to help. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can click here. You can read our reviews. You can read our mission statements all inside of here. You can read what customers are saying. We've partnered with Shopper Approved, so we have a third party collecting these reviews. I don't actually paste these into our website or nothing. These are fed in through Shopper Approved's API, meaning customers leave the review with Shopper Approved, so they're kind of like an auditor. They check the IP address, the customer location, to make sure it's a valid order. So these are real customers leaving real reviews. This isn't nothing we fabricated. So you can really begin to understand the culture we have here at NameHero and how much we care about your business. And I do something a little bit different than any other web host. To date, I don't know another web host that does this. And if there is one, please let me know. Comment below so I know. Is I actually publish the feedback from our support desk each month. So you can actually see what real customers say when they have an issue. So first off is the date, the date when this feedback was collected. And then they have to rate the text on a 1 to 10 scale, or 0 if they choose not to rate. And then they're asked to leave a comment. And so, a lot of people, they just give it a 10 and no comment. But some of them do leave a little comment. Some of them go a little bit more in detail than others to let us know, the problem kind of went away before any time to actually fix it, anything. But he was very kindly checked my site and URL to tell me he couldn't find anything wrong. I was really surprised at the speed this ticket was answered. This is how support is supposed to work. I'm very happy with your service. So I feel like, not only the reviews that we have collected, but also collecting real-time reviews from the support. So these are actually people that had a problem, how the issue was resolved, and the feedback to how they felt that their issue was resolved. So that's a really important measure that we use here at NameHero. So when we're going to evaluate, how our teams are doing, is we actually look at this feedback, and we don't even look at it from a management standpoint. We put it out there for the world to see. So all our techs, all our management, everyone gets to see this feedback. It's not something that hits my desk once a month and I look at and make hiring and firing decisions off of. It's something that we put out for potential customers, current employees, former employees. Everyone in the world can see this feedback. And so, it's something we do a little differently here at NameHeroes. We publish that. It's something we're not ashamed of. Finally, we publish our uptime reports. Now, we do this once a year, and you can see 2016, 2017. Unfortunately, we didn't do this in 2015, but we do this now. And so you can actually click on one of these and get a full report of our actual uptime and downtime for every specific node at NameHero. So we're going to do this as long as it is manageable to do so. Once we get to the point of having thousands of nodes, we'll have to condense these reports a little bit. But again, this is a third-party report by Pingdom. So this is a third-party agency that's showing you this. So you don't have to ask, what's your uptime like? Because our agents could tell you anything, right? Instead, these are facts. This is facts. This is not, this isn't fiction or made up or something we just say in our marketing. I prove our uptime by publishing the reports. So this way I can actually prove that our infrastructure is what we say it is. So, this page here, our NameHero review page on our site, this really takes into consideration everything I've talked about inside of this blog post or wherever it ran off to. It takes everything I say about the NameHero Promise and backs it up with facts, not just me on my soapbox on my microphone here on YouTube. I'm actually backing up the NameHero Promise with solid facts that are provable, that you can actually prove from real and existing customers. So if all that said, it's certainly my pleasure to be the CEO here at NameHero. It's certainly my pleasure to working with each and every one of you all. I love working the phones and getting to talk to customers, current customers, prospective customers, learning about their businesses, and also, learning how we can better help you to better service your business and to turn your web hosting experience from a negative one that I've seen from other companies. So many companies have dropped the ball, to turning it into a positive experience to where you can spend the time running your business and letting us handle the web hosting, letting us handle your domain registrations, and really empowering your business to have a pleasant experience online. So thank you all that are part of the NameHero revolution here. We certainly do appreciate it. Our customers are our only investors, so we thank you all for believing in us, and we promise not to let you down. We promise to hold true to our promises. And do you have any questions about anything I've covered? I know we've went on a little bit in this video. Feel free to leave me a comment on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel or leave me a comment on the blog here. If you feel so kind to write me a note, Ryan@NameHero.com. I don't hide behind a computer. Ryan@NameHero.com. Give me your phone number. I'll give you a call and we can talk this out. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support of us here at NameHero. It's certainly a pleasure being your web host.